the plan was we had targeted this lesser technician or whatever that worked there because they had a security system that would let you bring a girlfriend in. This is a bad idea. I don't know why you would design a security system specifically to allow girlfriends in.
Well, it's not much different than ours, right? Like, you can let your friends or whatever. I guess it could be friends, but it's meant for spouses. But
yeah, and I guess food culture. Maybe they've got a different sort of concept of girlfriend. So we had Aurora gussied up as a sexy ood. And she went
what that looks like.
She kept tossing her brain in her hands.
We were mentioning that she had a special, her brain orb had like the sides revealed, so the sides of her brain were showing. That actually would be quite dangerous, so.
Well, you have to take risks for fashion. Human women wear high heels, and ood women have exposed secondary brains.
No, ood aren't that stupid. They're quite practical and clever creatures.
So anyway, the plan was Aurora would go on a date with this guy and have the rest of us stowed in an extra-dimensional space. And then once we were inside, we'd swap out, and Cricket would take her place because she has a high bluff score, drug him, and then we'd go and sabotage his cortex. Easy peasy. Turns out there's additional layers of security, but we'll get to that. The date went great. He was having a great time. He was a little nervous, but Aurora was doing a good job dating this guy.
Well dated, companion.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Aurora is very beautiful, but she's essentially asexual. Like she's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't get it at all, and she's not interested in it, and she doesn't know any of this dating stuff. The only thing she knows what to say is what Serendipity coached her to say. But basically, she's just really nice and fun to talk to. So.
Yeah. And rather amusingly, Robin was refusing to role play romancing the DM. She thought it was weird. So yeah, some of it was sort of passed off as like this happened, And
all of that always happens anyway. Like even
I don't know when it was Cricket's turn.
Right. Well, yeah, but that was more logistically important, right? Like when they were sitting at their date or whatever, she just rolled like a crazy high diplomacy, and we didn't need to role play their whole evening and discussion, whatever, right?
Yeah. So.
But the big thing is they went for a walk because he really wanted to wait until it was well after hours.
Yeah. And we were fine with that. That's good with our plan too. We're quite happy to delay that. So yeah, finally it was time to go in. The interests were aligning well because he wanted to take us in late and we wanted to go in late. But of course that meant there was a lot of date that we had to do ahead of time. Ahead of that. But that all worked out fairly well. And then he brought us in. And then he buzzed us in through the first layer of security. And got us up to... which floor was he on? Third floor?
Well, so...
Yeah.
He went in first to the second floor to show it off.
Oh yeah,
it was a cool floor with reception and all the glass offices.
Yeah.
And there was a cool break room and a kitchen. And he wanted
Foosball table.
He wanted to play Brain Blaster, where you put your brain into this like machine and it's like an arcade machine.
We were very concerned about that Brain Blaster thing because Aurora's brain was fake, so it wouldn't have worked. John didn't even think of that at the time. It was just sort of color, flavor thing going on. So, anyway, finally we get to his office. His office.
Yeah, he took him up to the third floor, and the third floor was there were about half the floor was like half the floor was basically chalk squares that were all divided with weird symbols on them. The other half of the floor was just desks packed together, like like pictures of how accountants used to sit before computers. And then along the one wall was all doored offices. And he kind of looked around surreptitiously and led them to one of the doors. He was like, "This is my office." Sorry, this one.
The one that was unlocked.
Yeah. And so they went in there to see his office.
And it was about now that it was time to tag out and drug the guy, and then we would go to the Cortex. But we wanted to know, was it Aurora that interrogated him about where the Cortex was, or was it Cricket afterwards?
I don't remember. I don't remember when. No, yeah, it was after that. It must have been.
I seem to think it was me, but I'm not really sure. So.
Yeah, I think Aurora very quickly went to go powder her brain.
Yeah, Aurora wanted out of the dating thing. Traded off with Cricket. So Cricket disguised herself as the same food, and it was a bluff check. And Cricket's really good at bluff, so easy peasy.
So at this point, everyone is hanging out in the bathrooms.
Yeah, everyone's out of the extra dimensional space. Yeah, that was the other thing. She wanted to get everyone out of the extra dimensional space so she'd have backup if something went wrong, or just generally, so it's not just her on a solo mission. I assume she was getting nervous about that. So everyone gets out in the bathroom, and
they're in telepathic contact.
Yeah,
which is important.
And so Cricket heads off to take over, and she brings a bottle of fine wine that's dosed up with high-level goodnight tincture,
which is extra cheap to buy because it's in Udland, but it's still expensive.
Oh yeah,
I think it was $4,500.
Yeah,
and it would have been more than that.
Yeah, this was the best stuff.
Yeah,
because we really needed this to work.
Right.
The whole plan would fall apart if this didn't work.
Right.
So we got the high level.
Well, you could always kill him.
Well, actually, these Ood are tough. He's just some schlub, but he's a 15th level schlub.
Right, that was the thing they were talking about, just knocking him out. But I mean, yeah, sure, he's just the lamest employee of this place, but that's still high level wizard.
Still, yeah.
It's just like when you guys were in Zoriax.
Yeah,
and it's like everyone's got levels. Everyone's tough.
Yeah, and I think before giving him the wine, that was when you asked him about where the Cortex is. It was Aurora, I remember, because she was trying to get it out of him, and he said it was. Yeah, she wanted him to take her there, and he was like, "Well, no, you're not allowed to go up there. Wives and girlfriends aren't allowed into there by the security because every floor has a different passphrase and has different rules." And it became apparent from the conversation that while it might be true that family members aren't allowed up there, he also did not know the passphrase to the Cortex room.
He's not high enough level in the company to go there. So yeah, we picked someone a bit too low level, but that's probably for the best because higher level guys would have been more careful.
While they were talking, they heard someone come in to the floor and start walking. He was trying to play it cool, but you could see he was just sweating bullets. Like they're walking closer and closer to the office, and he was just freaking out. And they walk and they hear a door handle jiggle, and then a door opens. A door opens and someone goes into the office next to them. They hear them go into the office next to them, and he's just like, but he's just really freaking out.
This was after Cricket had swapped, because I remember this happened, and Cricket was trying to reassure him. this is where I was like, this was getting a little bit risque because she was talking about how I was like, are we doing something naughty? And I was like, oh, I like doing naughty things. Trying to reassure him that this is okay, and in fact, this is working out well for him. This is going great. So yeah, we got all we could out of him information-wise. So it's time to drug him and try and figure out how to get in there. Because, the plan isn't going quite right because he was supposed to be able to get us in.
Right.
But it turns out he doesn't have that ability.
And it's a good time to give him the wine because he's still, like, almost hyperventilating.
Yeah.
He's freaking out. Like, his plans are all falling apart.
Yeah. Cricket was reassuring him really nicely, but...
Yeah, it wasn't like he was panicking to leave, but he definitely was not...
Yeah.
He was not happy that there was someone in the office right next to him.
And Cricket was trying to reassure him that was working out great for her. I was like, this is naughty. I like that. But anyway, so Cricket gives him the drink, and it's an attack versus his fortitude. And since we've got this super awesome, good night tincture.
Yeah.
And the good night tincture is already like higher. Like it's better than a normal combat thing because you can only use it when out of combat, right? So it's like it's so high.
It was like plus 40 or something on a D20 roll. It's ridiculous.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So it's it's unfailable.
Impossible to fail.
Unless you roll a 1.
I rolled a 1. So yeah, he threw it all up.
He was too panicked. That didn't help his state. He's like, I threw up all of his papers. I mean, my papers. Thank you. And he was like, I ruined everything.
So yeah, he threw up all over himself, and so the date's going great.
Yeah, he was kind of depressed. So he's like, Squiggles. Oh well. So his name was like but they just called him Squiggles. We called him Squiggles for short because it was not practical to say his whole name.
Yeah.
And so he was like, Squiggles, you blew it. You blew it again.
And Cricket's like reassuring him, no, it's all right. Why don't we just go to the bathroom and get you cleaned up? It's like telepathically, like everyone get ready to hit this guy. I gotta knock him out. So the plan is that because we have to do this really quietly and fast, and he's high level, so we can't just do it really quietly and fast. We actually have to do a combat. So the plan we come up with, as just telepathically, hurriedly, frantically putting this together, they'll lay out the basement, the extra-dimensional space, and Croesus and the whole party will be inside this basement. And then as soon as the door opens to the bathroom and Squiggles steps in, Croesus will do his lodestone lure thing and pull the guy into the basement. And then Cricket will slam the basement shut because Cricket's right behind him.
Right.
And then the party can just beat the crap out of him down in the basement and knock him out. No, it's okay. Actually, I'll skip the part. So we go to the bathroom. The door swings open. Croesus does his lodestone lure.
Rolls a 1?
Rolls a 1. And I just specifically told him right before he rolled that die, I said, don't roll another 1. Don't make my mistake.
Yeah.
Roll. It's a 1. Like, what? I just... okay.
You had one job. Don't roll a 1.
So I can't remember now. Did Cricket hit him with the staggering note?
No, as soon as that failed, Serendipity, Shannon had been like, I just want to be able to knock this guy out. And she's like, can I just use a cinematic point? And I was like, well, an epic cinematic point would do it, and there's a rule for making a roll, and you can do it. So I was like, yeah, if you do it, if you roll such and such, you can successfully just whack him on the head with your mage hand.
Yeah.
And so she spent her cinematic point, rolled well. So that whole plan failed. She's like, whack! All right, problem solved.
So last session she one-shotted the uber solo monster with a magic missile. This session, she knocked out the guy with Mage Hand that we were all trying to formulate a plan. We were spending thousands of gold pieces on drugs and all this, and she just Mage Hand whacks him on the back of the head, and down he goes. So yeah, Serendipity is really our solver here. She uses low-level spells and solves big-level problems.
So they tied him to a toilet.
Oh, didn't we keep him in the extra? We kept him in the extra dimensional space.
No, there was a big debate, but people didn't want him
right,
in there.
because
so
yes, he's a high-level wizard in a extra-dimensional space filled with magic items. We don't want him in there. That's right. I remember that debate now.
So they just left him tied up in a stall.
Yeah. And then we were on to Plan B. There's another guy now in the office.
Introduce him.
Who is higher in the hierarchy because he actually went into one of the offices,
right.
The locked office or whatever. So this guy may know. So Cricket goes out. We figure we're still in bluff territory here. So Cricket changes her disguise from being a sexy ood to being a sexy janitor ood. And she goes and knocks on the door of this guy's office.
Housekeeping.
Basically, she's now the yeah. And I improv. You know? This is not really planned out, but I roll with it fairly well. I play the role of, I'm a brand new hire. This is my dream job, is working here at Library of Libraries. Just a janitor, sure, but, it's a dream job here. And it's my first night, and I've forgotten the passwords, or not forgotten, I was given the wrong passwords or something like that. And I'm trying to play it up like my fellow janitorial staff are hazing me. They've got me here on my own. They've given me bad passwords. They've given me bad, told me I'm supposed to go clean the Cortex room. And this guy's like, yeah, janitor staff are not allowed in the Cortex room. And stuff like that.
Yeah, he's not too interested in having a conversation. He's just sort of, I'm busy. Can you? Yeah.
I clean his garbage can. And stuff. But I'm really buttering him up with the, this is my dream job. You're such a wonderful guy for helping me out. This is awesome. And so, I can't remember what he gave us the password for.
He gave you.
Oh, he told us. I think he told us what level the Cortex was on, because I was like, I'm not supposed to go on the Cortex. Which levels are that? I'll avoid them. Which level's that? I'll avoid it. And he was like, yeah, level 9 through 11 or something? There's 3 levels, I know.
Yeah, I think I don't remember. I think
9 through 11, that sounds about right.
Yes, it was 9 through 11.
Yeah. And so internally I'm like, damn it, 3 levels, jeez, this is getting harder and harder. We can't get there, and when we do get there, there's 3 levels of search. Okay. But,
I think that was the first time you heard him say the word Cortex network.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, I'm all like, oh, thank you for telling me not which levels to avoid and all that sort of stuff.
But in the end, he did say, okay, I'll tell you the passphrase for level 2 because that's a pretty public level. Like during the day when reception's on, people can get in there anyway. And from reception, you can call up to floor 13, which is security. And if you're legitimately work here, they'll be able to get you the passcodes.
So I was like, oh, thank you very much. And we were like, okay, how do we knock this guy out? Well, we don't really need to, so we just left. And then we went down to the second floor, and we're like, okay, now we know that there's security in the building, and they're monitoring things and stuff. So this plan is getting harder all the time. But this is our next lead. We can contact security, and we just need to sweet talk them into letting us into the Cortex level. That'll be easy. So okay, we've done like every other movie plot so far. Let's do the pizza delivery guy now. So
Someone in the cortex levels ordered a pizza?
No, what we did is that, the hazing gone awry thing worked for us well with the janitor thing. So what we did is we're the pizza guys. Someone ordered a bunch of pizzas here, and it turns out it was a prank call. There's no one to deliver the pizzas to. Do you guys want it? We got this awesome pizza. And who was it that was actually on the line? Was it still Cricket? I think it was. Yeah, because it's still all bluff oriented. So Cricket calls up this guy up at security. Says, "Hey, I'm the pizza delivery guy from." Did we come up with a name for the pizza place? I don't think so.
I think you just said Domino's Pizza, but I don't know.
Yeah. And we tell them, we got these awesome pizzas here. They were ordered. They don't want. There's no one here, so clearly it's a prank. And would you like them? And we managed to sweet talk the guy into letting us into security on level 13, so that we can actually deliver these pizzas to him.
Yeah, because the guy up there was like, I'll take pizza.
Yeah, awesome pizza. So we all crowd into the elevator. And we're like, okay, as soon as this elevator gets to level 13 and the doors open, we're going to just charge in and just, murder the place and take over security. We're starting to run out of subtlety here. Because this plan is not going to pass muster beyond delivering a pizza. We don't even have the pizza.
Yeah.
We don't even have pizza. So the plan's going to fall apart very quickly once we actually get there. So we figured, screw it. We'll just scream and leap. Maybe that'll work. Because all this bluffing is just treading water. So the doors open, and we get a surprise round. We're going to do our scream and leap. But Serendipity, Van Goldstein, and Laura, top of her tower, separate soul strides for time. She's like, I go first. I do, what was the thing she called it?
Friends. Called friends.
Just friends.
Yeah.
It's basically charm. And she succeeds.
Oh, finally.
And so this guy is now suddenly our best friend.
Right.
And so we all abort the scream and leap mid-leap. Like, hey! Hey! And he's like, hey, you made it! I'm wondering where you guys were.
Yeah, and he kept calling Serendipity Pizza Lady. He's like, oh, Pizza Lady, I love you so much. I've eaten your pizzas for so many years.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to finally meet you face to face. I feel like I've known you my whole life. He never noticed that there wasn't any pizza.
Yep. So suddenly we had he wasn't like the head of security, he was the guy manning the desk,
yeah.
But still, that's the guy
that's a lot of power.
He gets stuff done.
Yeah.
So we have him. He's ours now.
Yeah.
At least for a little while. And
yeah,
so
she rolled well, and it was 4 hours.
Yeah, it was a good roll. Since we've been rolling a lot of ones, I busted out that I've got an ability that lets me roll 3 d20s, take the highest, and then I can swap it for anyone's roll. So I had banked up a nice shiny 8 that I could sub in someone's roll for. It was the highest I rolled in 3 rolls. It was such terrible dice roll. I mean, our plan it turns out a lot of problems were there, but also these dice rolls, jeez.
At the moment that they kind of had success here, that was when they had to pull 3 Jenga blocks, except I actually forgot till the end.
Yeah.
But there were 3 Jenga blocks, but we didn't pull them until later, so.
Yeah. So in theory, we pull 3 Jenga blocks right now. And there's already 8 pulled from the tower, so.
9 because
9? Oh right, because
at the start of this session, Aurora really wanted to help, so she used her charisma to write a piece of stuff that went viral on the Tome of 1,000 Faces about how you should
live each day as if it's your last.
Yeah, live each day as if it's your last. Follow your dreams. Do those things now. Don't wait. So that more people will do their dreams now and don't wait. Yeah. And so she had to pull a Jenga block for that.
Yeah. So yeah. She was like, okay, we're giving everyone another month of life. We want them to fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the thing is, everyone's like, Aurora, because like their plan to just save their own skins was threatened by her desire to like make their lives better for a month.
Yeah. You selfish person, Aurora. So that was a Jenga block pull.
So they were starting from 9 pulled.
Mm-hmm. So add 3 on that, and we're up to 11. So now that we have this guy totally on our side, we get all the information about the layout. Okay, so there's 3 floors. He doesn't know which floor has like the master cortex and stuff, and he also tells us, you know, you really shouldn't go there. Pizza delivery shouldn't go there. He tells us about there's some guards on the level that are like patrolling it. Here, I can show you, and he pulls up this big holographic map thing that shows like a live thing, and here's where everyone is. Huh, you're not showing up on it. Weird. Because we've got super scry guard stuff. Serendipity Van Gogh started more top of the tower shepherds of those strides through time. Made that deal with what's her face, the fairy, way back when.
Yeah, Stacia.
I kept thinking Stephanie, Stacia. She would get Croesus to open the box. In exchange, Stacia gave her this super awesome ritual, which was a scry proofing thing. And so, she hasn't explained to the party why she's able to scry proof so super duper well, but she does, and the party is totally scry proofed. And so we don't show up on this map.
Right.
And the guard guys like, that's weird, but you know, you're pizza guys, so you must use advanced pizza techniques to do that.
Yeah, I think they just described themselves as pizza ninjas. That was their.
We deliver where no one else can.
Yeah, and he really thought they should not go in the cortex room, but he was like, okay, tell you what, you give me a tour of the kitchen of the pizza place, and I'll let you into the cortex room. Just if you get caught, just run away, because I don't like. I'll get in big trouble if you get caught in this.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, I can get you onto that level, but the guards are patrolling. Here's where they are. And also there's some stone golems that are like guarding the entrances. And there's this iron golem that's like an emergency response thing that they can deploy anywhere in the area.
Is its name ED290?
It's on a claw on the ceiling, and it can like the claw moves and then drops the iron golem where it's needed.
So, you know, as soon as the alarms go off, we know we're in trouble. There's going to be bad things. So we got to be really sneaky about this.
But he gives them a temporary passphrase that will work for 1 hour on all floors.
Something like that. And he also, we give him one of our communication stones. And so he's going to give us live updates on where all the guards are and stuff like that. So that we can avoid them. That's great having this guy on our side. So we head down.
Also, it's turning into a heist movie.
It is. It's totally a heist movie. We're doing the backflipping over laser beams and stuff things. We didn't actually do any backflipping over laser beams, but you know, it's close.
Yeah.
So we go down to I can't remember which level. It doesn't matter.
It turns out one would be 11.
Yeah, it turns out they're all catwalky and stuff. So.
It's basically just 3 floors. There's one giant room with catwalks and that kind of thing.
And there's cortices everywhere, and they're all interconnected. And it turns out basically there's one cortex for every type of book out there, and then they interconnect to a master cortex so that they can all share their stuff. So like the Tome of 1,000 Faces would have a cortex in here representing it.
Right.
And you know, other specialized books would have those. So now we're hunting for the master cortex in here that everything connects to.
Right. Should be easy to find.
Yeah.
They start searching for it, but it's all Arcana checks, and no one's good at stealth.
Cricket's good at stealth, but everyone's crowded around Cricket.
Shouldn't it be obvious they all like connect up to a central thing? No,
and
it's like a server farm.
And it turns out that there isn't exactly a master cortex, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
There's just like There's no like giant thing in the middle that's the obvious like this.
It's a virtual
broken.
server running on one of the blades.
Yeah. So they search around for the thing, and they do okay on their stealth check, but they just barely miss it. And so the guard on the second floor says, "Hey, did you hear something?" And Serendipity makes a ghost sound, so he goes the wrong way. But now the guards are kind of on semi-alert. They're like, "Hey, did you hear something?" They're looking for them. Yeah. And they run down to the second floor because that guard has gone up to the first. And there's a guard on the second floor, but he's on the opposite side having a Vapo Puff. Except then he realized, he was like, "Oh, no, I didn't hear anything." And
because he's not allowed to be Vapo Puffing down there.
Yeah. And
so it's getting really tight.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are on semi-alert. We haven't found it yet. Not doing so well on the stealth checks.
Just put some coffee down and run.
Our least stealthy members also had the least arcana, so they decided to just wait by the elevator.
So that's Aurora and Croesus.
Yeah.
But Hank did come along because Hank has an elf in his brain. Mm-hmm. And Cricket and Serendipity, of course, did.
Yeah, we have good arcana. So we find it.
So Serendipity sort of follows the chain, and everyone's helping, and they're following it. There isn't exactly a master cortex, but they find one cortex that seems like a linchpin. Like
it's important.
It's like a major routing node, and if it goes down, there's no backup.
Yeah, if we break this, it breaks the system.
So they find a vulnerability.
So now we have to put the copy worms in.
But it took a long time because it wasn't like a giant destroy me button, right? Yeah. They had to figure out what was gonna be a non-redundant cortex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we realized, just sort of like analyzing the situation, as soon as we put the copy worms in there, even if we're successful, there's going to be alarms going off. And so as soon as we do that, we're going to run.
Right.
Oh yeah. We found a portal on the free table.
Yeah, there was a free table, and the guy was like, "Hey, they've got a two-sided hole. Wow, that's pretty cool on the free table. I've already got one. Do you want it?" And it's just these two pieces of leather. One is blue and one is orange. Put them up on a wall or a floor or whatever, and there's a portal between them.
Right.
So we rigged this up as our escape.
Right.
When we get to the elevator, we jump in the portal and get out of there.
Although I thought you changed your mind because you realized it was actually better just to leave the building.
Yeah.
You were going to do that, but then you decided, oh, wait, no, that was dumb. We didn't actually do that.
Right.
So.
And I remember.
Why was that dumb?
I remember Croesus because
they were going to use it to portal back to the 13th floor where their guy was, but then they realized it would be just as fast to get out of the building and run away.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no real point of it.
Yeah.
And it's inferior to like the portal gun in that you have to actually physically pack up both ends.
Right.
So you can't, if you use it as like your last ditch escape, you now no longer have it.
Right. Yeah.
But I kept arguing. We got it from the free table. So
whatever, man.
Yeah. I mean, if I came into work and found a portal at the free table, I'd just throw it away in one use thing as well. It's like, okay.
But they did, of course, go to the store, and these are like readily available children's toys. I need to figure out how much they cost, because they'd be like on the expensive end of toys, but they all bought beam shots. Because
the whole party has beam shots.
You just go to Toys R Us, and for $200 you pick up a beam shot.
So there again with your heist movie thing, we can all do the things. So
they all have them now. I don't know how I feel about this, but we'll see.
Also, Croesus had 14 elixirs of invisibility. I don't know why he bought so many.
Because they were cheap. And he likes having potions.
And so when we found out that, we were like, Croesus, can we all borrow some elixirs of invisibility? And he was like, but I just got them. But give them all back afterwards, all right?
And so Tim was really hemming and hawing, but he said, no, Croesus is generous, he'll give them to you. But Tim says, remember where you got those from.
So Serendipity puts the copy worms in, and it was the most important role in the campaign so far.
You had an 8.
Don't roll a 1.
Yeah, because they have to very carefully get them in there because it's so powerful that it'll just fry them if you don't do it just right. So it's not like you can just dump them in there.
Right.
So she has to very carefully arcana them into the cortex.
Yeah. We were scrounging for every other bonus we could possibly put on there. But yeah, most important roll campaign, she rolled a 6. I remember this very clearly.
At least she didn't roll a 1.
Yeah, so I gave her the 8.
And it was funny because, it was later, but after that, Brian was like, oh, it didn't work because we didn't have to pull Jenga blocks. And I was like, oh yeah, Jenga blocks. So they had to, that was when they had to pull the 3 that I forgot from before.
Right.
And 5 more.
What was the 3 for?
When just succeeding with the...
Getting in.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of like it comes incrementally as they're like, they're starting to threaten to change the future.
Right.
And then this is the moment where they're really threatening to change the future. So now, because they could have been thwarted earlier, right?
Yeah.
So.
And it was still a bit of a disruption because we're messing around at a linchpin of history. Even if we don't totally change it, we're still, yeah.
Well, I mean, they might have reviewed their security logs and been like, whoa, we should...
Yeah, the butterflies are powerful here.
Yeah.
So...
Mighty powerful.
So, yeah, we toss the worms in. Well, we place the worms in. The alarms go off. We didn't actually pull the Jenga blocks until the end of the session because we'd forgotten about them.
Right.
That was John was saying. As we were packing up to leave, I was passing by the Jenga tower and I realized, oh, geez, we didn't pull any Jenga blocks. I guess that means what we did had no effect. Curses, we failed. How did we fail? And that's when John was like, oh, we need to pull those. So we'll get to that. Right now we need to escape. So we put the worms in, and the alarm starts going off. So we all quaff our invisibility potions, and Croesus starts going, and we all beam shot over to the elevator, and we push the call button, and it's like, security lockout.
Yeah, the guy comes over the intercom, like, you set up the alarm. What were you doing? The whole building's in lockdown. Here, let me see if I can clear it.
So he's trying to clear the security lockdown up there. There's these 2 stone golems adjacent to the door, the elevator.
Why weren't you holding the elevator open?
I don't think you could. Actually, just because the elevators are made of force, and the floors are made of force, and it's like the...
It probably would have triggered the alarm if the elevator was being held open. So we're invisible for 2 rounds. And there's these stone golems standing ready to start smashing.
You're invisible for 1 round, and at the end of the first round, then you all quaff your second invisibility potion.
And then Croesus is going...
That's like 10 of his 14 invisibility potions.
Just glug, glug.
And the stone golems don't... Like, they can tell that someone's there by sound, but they're not programmed to just, like, smash anything, because...
Right.
You wouldn't really want that in your workplace if, like, the security thing just start killing randomly any sound they hear. So they're just, like, sitting there ready to kill them as soon as they know for sure that they're not employees.
Right.
Yeah. So as soon as the invisibility wears off. And so I'm like, well, okay, I've got Timeless Trek and Myth Rende, and that'll take one of them out like that. Croesus is readying, I can't remember, he's got a thing that like, immobilizes. So we're all like backing 1 square away from this other thing to mobilize it.
Because they discovered one of them can slow you.
Yeah.
And that seems scary to them. And
the other one just does hit point damage, and we're at full, and we need to get out within a round or 2, or it's all over.
Right.
So we'll just tank whatever hit point damage it might throw at us. We'll be fine.
Of course, the claw with the iron golem is running towards the elevator, but that hasn't got there yet.
And iron golems are really scary.
Yeah, they did their arcana checks on them ahead of time because they were just standing there, and they know that the iron golem is level 20. They're level 15. So.
Yeah.
And it's a level 20 elite, I think.
Yeah.
But
it's smash hard.
Yeah.
So they did that to try to lock them down, and then their visibility is about to expire, and the guy up at the top is like, okay, I almost got it. And then I said, okay, I'm going to roll it. If I roll 10 or better, success. less failure. And I rolled an 8. And he's like, oh, God, this thing always takes forever to load. I just need a few more seconds. And so they've got at least one more round of...
Yeah. And that was when the session ended. And that was when we realized we had to pull some Jenga blocks. 5 more. In a really shaky tower.
Yeah.
It was really terrible. There were a couple of those levels that were just one block. It was just...
Yeah, it was funny. There was actually a little bit of tension amongst the players because they were like, "Oh, why did you pull these blocks this way?" Because they were like so freaking out that it was gonna.
Yeah. And so we're pulling. I was sure it was gonna fall.
Yeah.
There was no way we were gonna make that.
I think it was like the most intense ever. Everyone was like, Shannon had to stop pulling blocks because her hands were shaking too much.
Yeah.
And everyone was definitely...
Yeah, I pulled the last block. That was quite the responsibility to have there.
Yeah.
But I managed it. The last block came out. I was like just sort of like tap, 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 tap. Oh, there's one. It's like, there we go. There we go. Yay.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were going to make it or not. It was really close.
Yep.
They did.
Yep. And now we're not going to tamper with time at all for the next month while the Jenga tower recovers.
So how fast does the Jenga tower recover?
1 block a day.
1 block a day.
Yeah.
So it'll have healed back up in 17 days.
Hey, we're the pizza guys! Hey! And you're our best customer ever!
Hey!
So we have Aurora and then even Cricket sneaking off and seducing these guys, and they tend to forget that I'm a woman too, and I can see why they'd forget that with this ugly dog body of mine. Smelly, ugly dog body. Although I do smell pretty good right now with that delicious stuff, but I digress. I don't know, we're all disguised as Ood. I'm sure we could figure something out. But yeah, I can understand why that would get overlooked, but yeah, I guess I kind of overlook that myself sometimes when I do stupid, idiotic stuff like eating stupid things. Stupid Hank. What is wrong with that guy?
Hello, we are dwarves, and we have sabotaged your quarter thing, and no Ood helped us, and we did it because we hate Ood and we are dwarves. Sincerely, Crow Dwarves.